Gil Martin here, and welcome everybody to today's episode of the Daily Packers Post. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. We have new videos dropping every day, Monday through Friday, giving you in-depth coverage of your Green Bay Packers. Today, we're taking a look at the battle for the slot corner position. It's kind of up for grabs, and there are a few things that will determine it. But as we head into OTAs and then training camp, we'll see how this battle plays out. Now, last year, we started the season with Keyshawn Nixon in the slot. But when Jaire Alexander got injured and eventually Eric Stokes proved himself to be ineffective, Nixon went out to the boundary. Javon Bullard, the second-round pick last year, ended up playing a lot of minutes in the slot. And, he did a much better job of stopping the run than he did covering receivers. Unfortunately, according to Pro Football Reference, opposing quarterbacks completed 85.2% of their passes when throwing to receivers covered by Bullard. That is obviously too high of a number, but the Packers are hoping that Bullard can make a jump and improve his play in his second NFL season. Now, once Bullard was in the slot, Evan Williams became the starting safety opposite Xavier McKinney. And quite honestly, when that was the lineup, that's when the Packers obviously had their best secondary results. But over the offseason, we saw some changes to the secondary. You saw Eric Stokes, Corey Ballantyne, and Robert Rochelle all let go, not brought back by the Green Bay Packers. So the depth in the secondary changing significantly during the offseason. And then the Packers signed free agent cornerback Nate Hobbs, who spent the last few seasons with the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, Hobbs primarily plays in the slot. He can also play on the boundary. So we'll see where that ends up playing out. And then, of course, the Packers did not take a defensive back in the draft this year until the 7th round when they took Micah Robinson. But I don't expect Robinson to play a major role on defense as a rookie. First, he has to make the team or the practice squad. I think he will stick around, but I don't see him being on the field a lot in his first season. And if he does, I think it'll be primarily on special teams. So the big question, that's sort of the linchpin for everything else in the secondary, is what happens with Jaire Alexander. Alexander's situation still not resolved as of right now. There have been all kinds of rumors the Packers want to trade him. If they can't get anything in a trade, they may let him go. Then there have been rumors that the Packers are trying to reach some kind of an agreement to restructure Jaire's contract, maybe give him more incentives for games played. But again, we'll see if there's any resolution, because so far, Alexander has resisted taking a pay cut. Now, the happy medium, the compromise probably looks something like this. Alexander takes away some base salary, makes it into incentives for games played. And if he plays in all 17 games, he could earn his base salary back and maybe even exceed it by a certain amount. That's one way to have a win-win. That way, Alexander either gets back into the good graces of the Packers staff, or if he manages to stay on the field, he has a situation where he could say, hey, look, I'm healthy. I've proven I can still play. And then he hits the open market and has more suitors. So what happens with Jaire Alexander is going to be critical to figuring out who plays in the slot. If Alexander stays, then you have Keyshawn Nixon, Carrington Valentine, and Nate Hobbs battling for the other boundary spot. But if Alexander is not back, Nixon is certainly one boundary corner. Hobbs and Valentine probably battle for the other. And then, who becomes the slot guy? Nixon can certainly play the slot. Hobbs can certainly play the slot. We know Bullard can play the slot. I get the feeling Jeff Hafley may mix and match, try to keep offenses off balance, kind of rotate players in and out, maybe even not designate who's in the slot at the snap of the ball. So the quarterback has that half second or second of indecision or confusion right off the snap. All of those things are possible. But realistically, if Alexander stays, the situation goes one way. If he departs, whether it's by trade or by release, and the Packers do not bring in another established cornerback to compete for time, things could go completely differently. I think it's either Hobbs or Bullard most likely in the slot, and I think both of them will see reps, even if everybody stays healthy, which, as we know, in a 17-game NFL season, it rarely happens that way. We'll see. It's a matchup and a position battle to watch during OTAs and training camp this year. Don't forget to check out our website at thepackerspost.com. We have new articles every day, Monday through Saturday. Plus, hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode here on YouTube of the Daily Packers Post. I'm Gil Martin. Thanks for watching today's episode. Have a great day, everyone. And of course, go Pack Go.